A farm distillery that truly does it all? Might this Kilchoman be my pick of the week from Feis Ile? Hi there, my name's Lewis and welcome to the Neckpour. This is the Whisky Review channel where I give you my thoughts and opinions on a particular bottle of whisky from the Neckpour all the way down to the Dregs. And you join me here for the Neckpour of this bottle. It's the Kilchoman Feis Ile 2026 15-year-old. This was one that really surprised me. I've had a tiny little dram at a tasting at the distillery. And yeah, from what I remember, it was pretty special. This was starting to get on in the week. It was the Wednesday or the Thursday was Kilchoman. So you're already 5 or 6 days in by that point. The budget was getting a little bit low. I knew this one was £130 a bottle. And so I was thinking, it's going to have to really wow me in order to pick a bottle up. My wife had very kindly driven us to the distillery. And so we went for a little barrel top tasting. She took hers as driver's drams. I had mine there and then. The second she watched me take a sip of this, she said, I'll go get in the queue then to pick a bottle up. Because yeah, I was instantly blown away by this. It was fantastic liquid. And may well have been my dram of the trip actually, to be quite honest. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get this open and let's taste through it together. For one, I mean, look at the box it comes in. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I know presentation doesn't equate to good liquid, and actually quite often those with the best presentation are trying to hide poor liquid, but that is a cracking box. And even after a pretty lengthy journey home, we only took a tiny bit of damage to the corner, and most importantly, this bit was fine. So yeah, let's get this ripped open and pour ourselves a little dram. Let's firstly have a little listen to this cork. Pretty good cork there. Nice little dram in a nice Kilchoman glass. Again, one of the distilleries that were happy to give you a glass out on arrival and a little lanyard. And my wife got a couple of driver's drams instead because she wasn't drinking. But on to the important stuff. It's 15 years old, fully natural. First 10 years in bourbon, then 5 years in Calvados to finish it. 50.9% and fully natural. It's 3 casks and 3 casks only. 130, 138 and 180 from 2011, making a grand total of 634 bottles in total. So very small release and only available at the distillery on the day. Sold out quickly by middle of the afternoon, was completely gone. And yeah, from what I remember, stunning liquid. And a stunning distillery as well. Pretty hard to get to, really in the middle of nowhere, a proper working farm. And yeah, what a place. With the exception of the music at Brookvaddy, maybe the vibes at Lagavulin and Kilchoman, my favourite distillery to go to, because it was still fully operational on their distillery day. There was malting going on. First time I've ever personally seen an operational malting floor. There was peating going on. First time I've ever seen whiskey and grain being smoked. Never seen that before. And you could walk through the barley fields where this was grown, which is just an incredible thing. Like, that you can actually see they do everything that goes into some of the whiskies. Some of it they do buy grain for, but a lot of it they grow themselves. About 80% of their grain is grown on the farm. And yeah, what an incredible place and amazing stuff to see. But yeah, this one is one I'm super excited for because when I was there, I really loved it. Does it stand up? Now we're back at home. Let's give this a little smell and see what we think. Gentle peat, nothing like the young Kilchomans I've ever tried before, which I always find quite peaty. This is super gentle. That peat's really far away. All that time in that cask has mellowed that out beautifully. stewed apples and pears. The orchard fruits are really soft and cooked, almost like poached pears or a poached apple. And chewy caramel sweets, toffee pennies, a non-chocolate like eclair, something like that. And just a little hint of something a bit almost winey right at the back. There's almost a little must to that right at the very end of the nose. Like a grape must, something like that. Really wonderful on the nose, really inviting. I can't wait to have a sip. The first thing I get there is a huge waft of sea air. That's really maritime. It's really coastal. Salinity, minerality, wet rocks, alluvial, all those kind of things. The peat is still there, but not super hot, not super ashtray, just a kind of gentle buzz underneath everything. It's quite almost waxy as opposed to oily. It's more getting towards that kind of furniture polish, old wooden furniture, beeswax, that kind of thing. And then there's a kind of almost a burnt pastry, like toasting a croissant for slightly too long and the edges have almost started to burn, but it's that caramelly, that sugary, buttery kind of burning as opposed to like fire. That palate is really wonderful. And I just want to keep going back to it again and again and again. Because that's so good. And yeah, that coastal note is to me just spot on. Absolutely spot on. It's what I like. It's that kind of West Coast style. And that Kilchoman that I've always known is quite a big, peaty monster of a kind of thing. Once that peat's reined in, there's just so much character coming out there that is absolutely spot on for me. Then on to the finish. That sea air, that coastalness continues, but salty brine, maybe even olive brine, quite gets a little bit funky, does that brine, gets a little bit almost cheesy in a great, great way. Again, that waxiness develops more into a leather for me on the finish, like a leather workshop, something like that. And then just under it all, that apples and that pastry come back through from the nose and the palate to just a big, big, big slab of apple pie lathered in cream. So creamy, so rich, sweet, but gentle. And then again, that just little buzz of peat just flows underneath it. Just a real gentle breeze, nothing too hectic, but just bringing everything together. And yeah, that is stunning. There's no other word I can use for it than absolutely stunning. And I mean, I've not got everything open yet since being back. This is the second thing I've opened. I'm not sure there's anything else that I brought back that's going to better this. I really don't. Because that is anything that you could want in a whiskey. And again, to anyone that hates peat, I think that's a wonderful introduction because there's so much other interesting levels going on there. from sweet and welcoming to kind of dirty and funky. There's a bit of something for everyone within that. And yeah, that 130 quid for me is so warranted. I'm so glad I picked a bottle up because, yeah, that could well be my dram of the trip. But before I just keep going on about how much I love it, I'll probably leave that one here for today. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me here today. It really does mean the world to me that you take time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with myself. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider hitting the like button down below. It means a lot to me. If you've got any thoughts on this particular bottle, Kilchoman is a distillery, or there's anything you'd like to see me review, drop that down in the comments below. If you've really enjoyed the video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. Again, that really does mean a huge amount to me. Other than that, again, thank you so much for joining me here today. Until the next time, cheers, Salancha, I'll see you again.